Welcome everyone. It's time for more The Life and Suffering of Sir Brante. Where last time I finished off adolescence, and I did it becoming very noble indeed. Basically a little bit more than I actually wanted it to. I wanted to be a little bit more spiritual than I am. I'm still okay with being high on nobility, but yes, I would have wanted spirituality to be a bit higher. The point about that is that I missed a few things in my childhood, which sort of left me without spirituality in my adolescence. Namely, if we go to chapter 1, insight. If we go to chapter 2, get a revelation by the 3, I would have had to have the epiphany from the childhood. So yes, this is sort of screwed me over a bit. And as you can see in chapter 2, I only did 2 of the destinies. Because I was noble, found out about Stefan's disgrace, which is that he had a bit of a bad relationship with another noble girl, maybe I should say. And that girl already had a betrothal to another one. Not good, Stefan. I also did the blood tide. I could probably have. Yeah, I could have avoided that if I wanted to, but no, I went for it. The other 2 related to ingenuity and spirituality, so couldn't do those. However, personal life, not good at all. I failed to save Sophia simply because I didn't have enough willpower at the beginning of my adolescence. And I'm gonna assume that meeting a girl is Sophia, because as far as I know, I haven't met anyone else that was potential. Only one Arcanian lady, but obviously she was way out of reach at that point. And also, as I said, no revelation of the tree. So, yeah, didn't do well there. Kind of sad, but it is what it is. This is the first playthrough, and I don't know how my actions will play out, because I've turned that setting off. So I'm okay with that in the end. And as I said, I think before, basically when I'm done with the series, I'm gonna replay the game again immediately and do other things, because that's the beauty of games like these, isn't it? So yes, indeed, we have ended adolescence, we are moving into youth, and that is gonna be interesting. Most likely, we're gonna get some new stuff. So why don't we just keep on going? I wanna see where everything goes. So we are indeed 16 years of age, moving into youth, and about the revolt over here, kind of looks like we're not going to be able to avoid that. So, and that's fair, because obviously, while we could possibly affect the world around us, we are still very much not able to. So things are just going on around us, and that's just the way it is. So in the end of the adolescence, we were at a sermon from the patriarch of our province, and he was brutally murdered on stage. That absolutely put some fire on the flames on the fire, whatever, you know what I mean. It basically made things a little bit worse. So yeah, we do have a peacetime apparently. We'll see, I suppose.
Leaving my hometown behind, I set out for the capital of the empire. There, I would discover my role in society.
And there we go. Indeed, we have arrived at the capital, which is very, very cool. Because we are going to be studying, and since I'm a noble, that probably means studying law, like my father and his father before him. Leaving home, the driver flicks the reins. The carriage slowly sways as it starts moving away from your home. You stick your head out of the window and wave goodbye to your family. Nathan is running after the carriage with Thomas' younger brother in tow. Tears glistening in their eyes. Yes, because Thomas is with me. He's gonna not study, I think. He's just gonna try and make his way in the city somehow. It hurts to leave your home behind. Ahead lies Eterna, the imperial capital. You've often read about it and heard stories from Father and Stefan. It is a city that surpasses Anisot enormously in terms of size, age, wealth, and beauty. But what is it really like? What kind of life awaits you there? What will you learn there, and where will your actions take you? You pass the old walls of Anisot. Somewhere within them is the old fortress you and Thomas built together out of old wooden planks, now left to the care of your younger brothers. You two are adults now. Perhaps your fortress will crumble, now abandoned, or perhaps your brothers will continue what you started. Who knows? You look down at your hands, knuckles covered in scars from street antics, fingers stained with ink. Mother gave you a cross to wear away from home, and now you can feel its warmth against your chest. A cross? Why? Why do we have a cross? What does that represent in this world? We don't have Jesus in this world. Alright then, fine, whatever. Your family counts on you, even though they all wish a different future for you. But they are behind you now in Arizona. Yes, indeed. My father, obviously, as I've been doing well with my studies, wants me to become a lawyer. My mother would like me to probably become a priest, or at least she hinted at it. I'm not that spiritual, so I don't exactly know if that's an opportunity that I could go for. I don't know. I might reconsider if the opportunity arises, but we'll see about that. From this point on, only you will decide which road you will take. Well, it's been like that for a long time, but sure, whatever. This is a journey you prepared for throughout your entire childhood. Ahead of you lie many years in the capital, years that will determine your fate and your place in society. So there we go. Ooh, alright. So, new personal qualities. These are your personal qualities in adulthood, which you will use for the rest of your life. They are the sum of the qualities that you've gained in childhood and adolescence. Ooh, that's kind of nice. So for most skill checks, you will need a value between 10 and 16. Values 17 and 19 are required for rare and especially difficult choices. The maximum value 20 only gives you a chance for one extraordinary deed. Oh, alright. So I had a slightly lower perception, but really high in ability. So apparently I am promising in the arts of diplomacy. It does look like that indeed over here. And as nobility was 7 and percent. Oh, I'm going to be really terrible at some things. Oh no. Yeah. Alright, manipulation is now a thing, and I am in the middle. Not so good. Oh, yeah. Theology, again, not so good. My little fledgling neophyte here. This one, however, valor. Oh, yes, my resolute, my determination and nobility. Very, very high. That is, that could be a thing. Yes, seasoned warrior. Battle-hardened in the end. Might be what I will be going for. Determination was high indeed. So, scheming. A bit inexperienced, but actually not terrible. And then, obviously, yes, with the spirituality, eloquence, tongue-tied, not so good at that either. Ooh, great orator at the other. Ooh, I would love to have that one really high. So determination and spirituality, get those really high and you can become a speaker. So there we go. That's fun. So that's actually quite good, because I was thinking about my youth, my childhood, etc., etc. When we left childhood, and I had my, well, I don't even know which one, what was it, determination and the other one. Yes, there we go. We just left those behind. They never came back, and now they did come back, so I'm actually quite happy about that. Alright then, chapter outcomes. We can do Path of the Lotless, remain a commoner. Well, that's out of the question, because I kissed the... Well, actually... No, never mind. Yes, I can still be lotless if I so choose. Path of the Priest. Oh, yeah, that's gonna be difficult. A role in the seminary, but I need either theology or eloquence, and those are not high for me. This one is just, yep, I'm done with both. So college is very, very much what is currently on the path for me. And then we have again true death, apparently. Your earthly life is over. You leave the world forever and face the judgment of the twins. So we could actually die for real in this episode, or this chapter, but it might be difficult to die in this episode if you have done what I have done, which is to not die so far. So it might be that if you've died other times, which I vaguely think I know a few of the occasions where you could possibly die, you might be higher up on this death toll here. Alright then, so in my... oh, bloody hell. Alright then, what can we do? Alice's rescue, new person, an enigmatic singer. Okay, we can prevent her death somehow. A collapse of the Lotless. Ooh, there we go. Oh, no, okay, never mind. You failed to protect the Lotless. Oh, right. I was about to say, this is the thing that I want. The collapse of the Lots. But no, the Lotless. You failed to protect the Lotless. The Empire utterly destroys the secret society. Oh, bloody hell. We can only do that if we have done Path of the Lotless. So that feels like that's sort of late in the chapter, possibly. The Lotless at large, you rescue the Lotless, and the secret society continues its activities in the capital. So basically, if... right. So if we fill this criteria, then we get an event, and in that event, we can possibly then choose either of these. And I see out with Felipe, so that's another character. And we need 13 in manipulation. I am not that good right now. I really hope that we'll be able to change those stats quite quickly. Alright, me and Thomas with rings. Okay, we need him to be a little bit happier with me, but I can also go with the Path of the Nobleman, which I very much can do. So me and Thomas can be friends. And Shield of the New Faith. If we go with the Path of the Priest, I can side with the New Faith, the one that the old patriarch in Magra, I think it is, that he was talking about. That would be very interesting, but I am not sure that I can get that. Or, same thing here, if we do Path of the Priest, we can make a choice at some point. So I can side with either the New Faith or the Old Faith. That's basically that. And if I've done Path of the Nobleman, I can also prevail over every opponent in the Imperial College tournament. Now that sounds really fun, and I don't know. Fight for your father. Is that in this chapter, or have I missed something? Fight for your father. It feels like I've been going with my father in almost every turn. So I'm pretty sure that hasn't happened yet. So if I go for Path of the Nobleman, and if I basically protect my father's name or whatever, yeah, that would be an opportunity for me. That sounds fun. Ooh, I want to be a fighter. Damn it. Right then, as we have seen, Diplomacy 10, Theology Manipulation 5, Valor 13, Eloquence and Scheming 8. So in order to get my butt into the priesthood, 5 more theology and 2 more eloquence. Yeah, that's gonna be difficult, I think, but alright then, we shall see exactly how this all begins. I have willpower, by the way, so that's a good thing. That kind of look like ages are gonna be a little bit different, possibly. Not like each step is 1 year, possibly, maybe, I don't know, we'll see. So arrival in the capital. It takes a whole month to reach Eterna. Bloody hell. All the times were rough. You and Thomas spend the days wagging your chins and staring at the scenery as your carriage makes its way along the road and towards the next province. Soon it crosses from the familiar barren, arid lands of Magra to the stately mountains of Illyria. During one of your many stays at a roadside inn, the two of you even manage to share a whole bottle of strong wine and keep it a secret from the servant who drives the carriage. Ooh, aren't we sneaky? Adult life feels positively intoxicating. Oh, that's a nice pun there. And says Thomas, soon I'll tell you, soon we'll be there, and I'll earn my sword as soon as I get accepted into the military academy, you'll see. And then nobody's gonna walk all over me like I'm some commoner, so he's got plans to join the military. Well, that might be a good opportunity for him, yes. You keep rehearsing everything they taught you in school. Soon you're almost at the end of your long journey. You have left behind the arid rocks of Magra, the mountains of Illyria, and the flooded meadows of Arknia. Eterna, the capital, is right ahead. Situated at a junction between the Reglata and Talrina rivers, the city is vast. 3 majestic stone bridges keep its 3 shores interconnected. Smooth stone paves the main city streets, gilded moldings, decorated buildings, towering pillars reach high into the sky. Your carriage takes you past a spacious park with marble foundations and intricately trimmed bushes. On the streets you see ornately decorated carriages bearing Arknian coats of arms and abundant merchants' tents, filling the streets with beckoning cries and unusual sights. The spires of ancient temples dot the city skyline. The carriage comes to a halt on a large city square with a towering marble fountain. The coachman says you have arrived. Thomas is to apply to the military academy. The academy barracks are 2 streets away. Your lodging house is in the alleyway nearby. A room has already been reserved for you. You get out onto the street and say brief goodbyes to each other. You promise to meet again after the entrance exams. Then your friend disappears into the crowded streets of the capital. You are left to your own devices in this vast city. A group of nobles walk past. They are dressed in well-fitting clothing, decorated with gems and golden thread. You are not even noticed. Street urchins chase a dog down the alleyway. Soldiers of the Imperial Legion are marching to fifes and drums towards the barracks. Humble pilgrims are gathering to the great temple of the twins. There are the sounds of music and fountains, and the smell of baked bread and garbage trains. That is basically any major city in some ways. You quickly check in at the lodging house, then go back outside. The sun is setting. The streetlights come to life. Merry music fills the taverns. Couples and noble coaches with tinted windows fill the streets. Shadows and hushed voices and laughter fill the parks. You're all alone with this city, so vast and unfamiliar. You take a look around, determined to fill your first night in the capital with memories. Is this when we go and have a bit of a look at some music? And I do see the harlots in the street here. Don't go there. That's a bad idea. You see young nobles gathered by the fountain, talking and making jokes excitedly. One of them keeps glancing at the clock tower. They are above your age. Their clothes are hand-tailored and 2 of them bear noble swords. They seem to be waiting for something. It might be a good idea to make their acquaintance. It would be most helpful to develop a familiarity with influential nobles of the capital. And loud music from a large establishment on the corner distracts you for a moment. The servants have just opened the shutters to air out the hall. It seems there will be a gathering inside. People from various estates greet each other as they take their seats. A servant by the door of the establishment hails you. Sir Gert Arkwright will be making a speech about the rights of the common estate. If you wish to listen, you better get inside quickly. Then you look at the great temple of the twins at the far end of the street. The pillar shines in the evening dusk above it. The temple gates are open and worshippers are flocking inside. There are too many people for an ordinary service. This must be something important. What do they preach here in the capital? What do they say of the new faith and the teachings of Patriarch Phodis, which is the one that was killed? And we can, by the way, also see that the new one is Cassius, Patriarch Cassius. So that's the new guy who took over. You snap out of your reverie when you hear loud laughter. A group of young men dressed in the colors of the Imperial College have made the acquaintance of several lovely girls. Stay away from it, Chris. They're making their way down the road, ununited by merriment. One of the girls smiles at you, is an invitation to join them. They turn the corner and walk away, but you can still hear their voices ringing and echoing through the street. A night of revelry and jolly, loud fun doesn't sound half bad. This is your first night in Eterna. No matter what you choose, you will remember it for a long time to come. Oh, bloody hell. Yes, so one of the things that I will absolutely mention when I close up this series is how I enjoy the fact that your choices, even small and big one, really make an effect on the later stages of the game. So, for example, one of the major ones was in the end of my childhood when I did the little sermon thing with the lot thing, and I grabbed the sword and kissed it, etc., etc. That cost me willpower. Willpower I didn't get back at the start of my adolescence, which meant that I wasn't able to save Sophia, which meant that she's now super pissed at me. So, that little choice actually had quite an effect, and will have quite an effect, because the game very specifically said that she will be back in my life. I'm not sure that I'm looking forward to that, but alright. So, noble youths, I can go and listen to the Arkwright, that's the commoners. I can go and do the worshipping thing. Around that. I'm not gonna go for that one. I've decided to not go for that one. I think it's between these two. Now, as I've said, I wouldn't mind going down the priesthood route, but in some ways, maybe I should double down on the whole noble path. I mean, it feels like I haven't really done the spirituality thing from my childhood even, so maybe it's a stupid thing to try and go for it, because I might not actually. Basically what I'm thinking is maybe I could get the right stats to join the priesthood. But what if I do and then don't have enough points to do the later choices? Like it said, you need over 17 in total for certain stats to be able to do the very interesting choices. I might not be able to get there if I go for a spiritual sort of path now. So I don't think it's a good idea for me. That's basically how I'm thinking about this. You know what? I'm gonna go and chat with the noble youths. See if I can get a foot in. So that's a big choice. Yes, that's gonna probably matter for a long time. You approach the young nobles and introduce yourself tactfully. Your father, a judge, has sent you here to study. You explain. Would they mind showing you around the capital? The nobles eye you uncertainly and whisper to each other. You prepare to face the rejection, but to your surprise, they agree. When the clock tower strikes 8, your new acquaintances proceed to a rich house not too far away. Candlelight fills the halls before you, reflected in abundant mirrors and gilded picture frames. Manservants bring drinks and refreshments to every guest. There are the sounds of music and laughter and small talk. Here and there you see couples dancing to the music. It appears you have made it to a small noble party. The nobles are gathered in groups. You take the time to get introduced to each of them and join in their small talk. Some discuss their studies at the college, while others relay fresh gossip. Have you heard that Melanida's carriage was seen in the city the other day? Ooh, very exciting. I know one of them. You mention how you once encountered Octavia Melanida's daughter and heiress to the Archduke of Margra at a square in Anisot. These words draw a small crowd. Ooh, well, that's good. Speak of it, yes. The Melanida's destiny rarely, if ever, visits Eterna. They say it is the only house that can stand its ground against the Imperial Tempest dynasty. One young man even allows himself a little joke. They say the great Arachnian houses turn to a Melanidas only when a Tempest needs to be refused. After all, only the Melanidas dynasty still knows how to say no. Alright then, good to know. But there is more. It turns out all humans owe the Melanidas dynasty for their foray into nobility. Car Melanidas was the Arachnian who opened the first college, and its graduates were the first to be ennobled by the mantle. To feed and nourish their barren land, the Dukes of Margra took to industry and began adopting innovative industrial and social practices. The dynasty's motto is remembrance and majesty, but strife and change would suit them better. Then the nobles start discussing the other great Arachnian dynasties. The Tempest dynasty is the first of the first, naturally, marked by the twins anointed to rule. All Tempests are known for their sincerity, often bordering on a volatile temper, yet it is this very passion that has led them throughout history. The Tempests have been chosen by the gods to rule the empire. The diamond, yeah, that was a weird one for me, because that's how you say diamond in Swedish. So that was a bit weird. The Diamond dynasty are the main supporters of the Emperor's family, honor personified. The Diamonds presides at the Arachnian courts of honor that remain throughout the empire, in spite of the public taboo. These courts hold more sway over the laws and lives of the nobility than imperial edicts or prefectural authorities. Some mention Patriarch Junius Diamond, the black sheep of his own dynasty. He preaches the new faith that rejects the lots and stirs the minds of the common folk. Okay, we're gonna have to keep a little bit of track on that guy. Haven't got any new relations, by the way. No, we are still at those. Alright then. The Orgriff dynasty is another noble bloodline favored by the Emperor. They zealously advocate the twins' faith and see the Empire as the union between heaven and earth. Every year, the Orgriffs donate enough funds to build new temples across the Empire. And we have the Monrogue dynasty. Is an ancient and controversial name. The Monrogues often speak in favor of removing humans from nobility, restoring nobility as solely an Arachnian privilege, and returning all human-manned offices in the Empire to the Arachnians. Many gossipers accuse the Monrogues of plotting against the rule of the Tempests, to bring back the old Arachnian Republic and the joint rule of the great Arachnian dynasties, as it existed long before the Emperors first came to be. Alright then, troublemakers, yes. The discussion of courtly affairs and noble dynasties soon gives way to cultured entertainment. Expensive wine flows like water. You too ask a couple of noble ladies to dance and show your skill. You return to your lodging room in the small hours of the night with just enough strength left to undress before your aching head and feet make you collapse. Good first little night there. Oh, bloody hell, my willpower went down. I don't like seeing my willpower go down, because that means that it might be an event now that I can't do. Bloody hell. Alright, fine. For the first time in your life, you have mingled with a noble crowd on your own, without your family's aid. So indeed, diplomacy up. Manipulation up. That is most likely going to help me a bit. Very nice. And yes indeed, there's the first little note. We have arrived at the capital. First mark of my youth, so to speak. Still haven't opened up these. That's 4 and that's 5. Now we get to Luke's sermon. So who's Luke then? You have spent the last 3 days studying books, but today you decide to take a walk through the streets of Eterna. They are full of life as usual. You proceed to the square next to the lodging house. A procession of priests walk through the square. You notice that one of them holds the banner of the new faith, an open book. This is the same banner that was behind Patriarch Fotis on the day of his assassination. A crowd immediately gathers around them. Many people are looking at an icon painting on a small pedestal depicting a grey-haired man with glowing green eyes. You recognize that face, the face of the late Patriarch Fotis. So they are using him as a martyr now then. Yeah, that absolutely was something that was a possibility, yes. A man with a thick beard appears by the icon painting. His broad shoulders bear a white and gold cloak with the coat of arms of the capital province embroidered on it. He is Luke, Patriarch of Arknia. He casts his stern gaze over the crowd. Well, actually, okay, maybe the opposite. Maybe they're using him as a scapegoat, I just realized, yes. I speak to all who live within the sight of this shining pillar, says Luke. Exactly 1 year ago, we lost Fotis, Patriarch of the Magra province, mentor of the new faith. Patriarch Fotis was the first to see the books of Isacius for nothing but the words of a man, not the words of the twins themselves. He was the first to tell people to seek the path to the gods in their own hearts instead of blindly following the lots, to seek answer in the lives of the twins and their own hearts rather than the words of priests. Okay, I don't know which side you're on right now. We'll see. Through Patriarch Fotis, we were able to see the truth. Through his death, we saw that his words are not heresy. They are the truth that used to be obscured by Isacius' lies. So he is on the side of the new faith then. He does wear the old faith symbols though, so I'm not 100% sure. And I now bring good news. Patriarch Junius Diamond has been seen to it that our teacher will be canonized as a saint. Oh, bloody hell. Yes, Junius Diamond, an Arknian from a great dynasty in the Patriarch of Astinia, has joined the new faith himself. And through this, we hope that the entire empire will soon see that our doctrine is the truth. We are free from the shackles of the lots. We are equal before the twins. With each day, more and more people hearken to the truth. And one day, the entire empire will hear our call. So let us pray, my brothers. Well, what about the sisters? Can't they pray too? The believers around you bow their heads in prayer and thank the twins, not for the lot they were given, as they usually would, but for the chance to choose their own path. The Patriarch's sermon is inspiring. It compels your hands to meet in a sign of prayer. It compels your lips to repeat the words of the new faith. Patriarch Luke's sermon forms a cadence and your heart beats in time with it now. You recall the murder of Patriarch Fotis a year ago. It seems more patriarchs share his doctrine now. The news of Junius Diamond joining the new faith is stunning. If an Arknian from a great dynasty has sided with Fotis' doctrine and agreed to see everyone as equals under the twins, the new faith must truly be putting down roots. But suddenly, there we go, there's the Inquisition. Literally, yes. But suddenly several figures appear by the podium. Figures clad in black with glinting silver on their sides. Inquisitors. They push through the crowd and form a circle around Patriarch Luke. One of these priests rises before the crowd. He is clean-shaven, tall, with chiseled features. Everyone falls silent at the sight of him. The Inquisitor speaks with a booming voice that can be heard by all. And that is Father Ulrich. Is that guy? I am Father Ulrich, in the name of the twins and by my right as an Inquisitor, I order you to turn around and leave. The words you're hearing are full of lies. Patriarch Luke has set out to poison your hearts and minds, and the Inquisition will not allow this heresy to spread. The only true path in life is the will of the twins. Life officers, no other choice. You are hereby ordered to disperse at once. And is Patriarch Luke gonna get a bit taken away now? Probably. Most people leave the square immediately. Few want to get involved with the Inquisition. Some people stay, however, and some even shout angrily, "We want to listen to Luke. He is the Patriarch of Arcania, and he has more to say. Get away from our sermon, old believers. We will not listen to you and your hoary lies about the lots." Says Father Ulrich, "Inquisitors, bring those who may yet listen back to the lots, and leave the others to the champions of faith." So there comes the cavalry. The black-clad Inquisitors descend from the podium and approach the people who chose to stay. With nothing but their words, they make people stop shouting and start listening. The uproar ceases quickly. They have dissected the crowd, split it in smaller groups that surround each Inquisitor. One of these Inquisitors chooses to approach you. Bloody hell. He is a humble-looking man of age with a rough haircut. He looks you straight in the eyes, as his lively, soulful voice forces you to listen to his words despite yourself. Jeremiah Hogg is this. "My name is Father Jeremiah. I know your thoughts were stirred by the Patriarch's words. You are not sure whom to trust. But I teach at a seminary. I have been studying the teachings of the twins my entire life. You can trust me." You say that. I know you can hear what I have to say. I see their light in your eyes, the light of the true faith. "Will you listen to my counsel, my son?" he says. "You feel no malice in the words of the Inquisitor Jeremiah, only hope. It is his lot to aid you, to guide you away from error and set you on the path of the true faith. He is a priest, so he should know the truth. Or perhaps the Inquisitor himself is in the wrong. Obviously, yes. But, let's debate him." That seems like a good choice. It doesn't say that I need any level of skill or anything like that. And it feels like resisting necessarily isn't a true way here as well. No. Let's have a bit of a debate. Maybe I can get some... what are we looking at? Eloquence. Maybe I can get some talking up. Who knows? Maybe I can get some more diplomacy. Wouldn't mind that. Let's debate him, damn it. Let's see how good I am at this. You start debating the Inquisitor, mustering all your knowledge and awareness of the new faith. The lots are an error introduced by Isacius. They are incorrect, obsolete, and contrary to the way of life of the modern empire. And says Jeremiah, "Please hear me out, my son. In these difficult times, people of your estate are the ones most tormented by doubt. Your lot is suffering, but not all of you are ready to suffer. Some turn to guile and cunning to avoid it, and they end up in eternity's embrace at the foot of the pillar. Please understand, your lot requires humility. Suffering is inevitable, and so is doubt. Each of them may temper your soul, yet each may also destroy it. But know this, if you have doubts, you're always welcome at the temple. No priest will turn you away in a moment of weakness. This is why we exist, to fortify faith in the hearts of all people, to bring the word of the twins to those who have gone astray." Well, you say that. Know this, the Inquisition does not imprison everyone suspect of heresy. We exist to protect souls, to guide and save them. We pursue dangerous doctrines and seek to rescue every soul we meet. Arrest or execution is our last resort, reserved only for sinners beyond redemption. You can see that I am merely speaking to you right now. I have not resorted to force, nor am I giving you any orders. Do not resist this, but rather consider the following. Did the Patriarch speak the truth? You answer that Luke's sermon was far more convincing than Father Jeremiah's words. Everyone blindly heeds the writings of Isacius, but he is but one man who decided he had the right to define the lives of generations to come. But people have the right to free will, you say. They have the right to choose their destiny and bear the burden of their choice. Father Jeremiah sighs in response. It saddens me to see that you have been led astray so easily. Yet you are young. You should seek to learn the truth on your own. If you truly believe you can interpret the will of the gods, perhaps you should become a priest yourself. If you come to the divine seminary and prove you deserve the lot of the clergy, you will be accepted. I teach there, and I am always happy to see students of considerable talent, even if they have been led astray. But for now, you should leave this place. You will learn nothing by facing the champions of faith. With this, Father Jeremiah leaves you and proceeds further. You leave the square freely, your dignity preserved. The remaining people in the square continue arguing with the other inquisitors. Armed champions of faith stand nearby, but they do not intervene. Luke and his retinue can no longer be seen. Yes, indeed. You walk back to the lodgings house, mulling over Father Jeremiah's words about the seminary. Your family sent you to earn a noble title, but you have an opportunity to become a priest of the old faith or the new. If you see your destiny in service to the gods, no one has the right to stand in your way. And again, yes, that could possibly have been a thing if I had done my choices differently in the past. So I do indeed get some eloquence, nothing more than only +1. Bloody hell, it's going to be difficult to get some of these stats up, I think. But for now, let's say that that's all fine. And it is now the fall of 1134, the advance of the new faith. Yes, we continue with this. So Patriarch Luke's sermons have converted many commoners and nobles of the mantle to the new faith. There are now several temples in Eterna that follow the new canons with Luke's blessing. This has led to no small amount of anger among the followers of the old faith. Yeah, it is interesting that they can even have temples, what with the inquisitors and all. But sure, 2 mighty bishops of the church lead the new faith. One of them is Luke, the Patriarch of Arknia himself, spiritual mentor of the capital province. He preaches all across Arknia, his every sermon adding to the new faith's flock. The other leader of the new faith is Patriarch Junius Diamond. Okay, so he's in on this, yes, quite much. Hailing from a great Arknian dynasty, he is the de facto ruler of Astinia province. Adored by his subjects, he has founded the Holy Order anew. Junius Diamond rarely preaches, but people believe the Astinian Patriarch attends to the needs of all who convert to the new faith. We'll see about that, I suppose. This schism within the church is growing. The split has furthered the divide between the commoners and the nobles, though thankfully there has been no direct conflict as of yet. Well, I suppose that's where the revolt comes in the end, yes. But it has become clear that there is no way to stop the steady advance of the new faith. Born from the death of Patriarch Photis, it grows stronger by the day. So indeed, big bit of a schism here in the church. We are moving towards new faith. Order goes down. This can only be bad, really. But again, stuff that we can't really affect right now. I have no idea how much I will be able to affect anything, but possibly some. The city that never sleeps. The next few weeks pass by in hard work and preparation for the coming entrance exam at the Imperial College. You grow more and more exhausted with each passing day, so much so that one night you fall asleep while studying another book. When you finally come to, you decide it is high time to get some recreation outside. Yes, night on the town, again. The city of Eterna amazes you as you stroll through its splendid streets. Why am I choosing this street all the time? Is it the harlots? I think it's the harlots, but stay away from them. They're bad. They're very, very bad. It is another night, a different night, yet the city is beautiful still. The shining pillar, that's that thing, is a slice of light against the dark night sky. The lamps on the facades of the buildings are lit, night descends on the capital. You don't feel like going back to your books tonight. Recently you made the acquaintance of several young men. They are children of nobles of the mantle, just like you, sent to the capital to earn their noble titles at the college. You decide to seek them out. Yes, let's party. Your new friends are having a late dinner on the next street over, loudly discussing their plans for the night. Some speak eagerly of a dueling club, oh there we go, where you can see the most skilled and ardent duelers in the Empire doing what they do best. You have never seen professional duelers fight. It must be far more exciting than Father's fencing lessons or the fight in the ruins of Anisot. And if luck favors you, perhaps you can even make useful contacts among the noble families in the capital. And the others try to convince the rest to take a trip to the certain secret salon. No, don't do that. Well, actually, it might be fine. The establishment is expecting a guest tonight, to say a young lady who speaks about the true state of affairs in the Empire. So is that gonna be... Is that gonna be... Alice? No, actually it says that she's a singer. Okay, not a speaker. There are many questions about the nature of the place and identity of the mysterious speaker, but the young men have only one answer. They are forbidden to speak about this outside the club. I don't think it's Fight Club, but maybe it's Speak Club. Don't speak about Speak Club. However, they can take you there as long as you aren't afraid to learn a dangerous truth. Ooh. Well, that is intriguing, yes. Rather still, drinking their fill of wine rather than eating. Fencing, they say. Speeches? Nonsense! The place you ought to go tonight, they claim, is the Markian Society, a gathering for those of common estate but uncommon opinions, that offers pleasures for everyone. Pleasures of the palate, pleasures of drink, pleasures of the flesh. Is this not heresy and crime? Perhaps, yet some of your newfound friends are eager to go there. In the end, your group splits in 3 to spend the night as they see fit. Well, would you know it? What will it be? A contest featuring the best fencers in Eterna, an establishment both mysterious and dangerous, or an encounter with people who defy their lot with audacity? You weigh your options. I mean, again, the most fun one would obviously be the Secret Salon, that might lead to some interesting things. But okay, here's the thing. Where is it? There we go. Fight. I mean, okay, so the point here, I suppose, is when do I fight for my father? That's what I'm thinking about here. When do I fight for my father? Is that here? I'm gonna say no. I don't think it is. I might be super wrong about that, like super wrong, but I'm gonna go for the Secret Salon. That seems intriguing, and possibility for new relations, etc, etc. Did we got Father Ulrich? He's in here, not Jeremiah for some reason, but yes, this might actually open up. Well, actually, you know what? All 3 might open up contacts, but you know what? You know what, let's live life a little. The Secret Salon. I am down for a dangerous speech after all. So, yes indeed, let's go for the Secret Salon. The Secret Salon is an unremarkable wooden building down an alleyway of a few blocks from the Great Temple of the Twins. Oh, is this going to be New Faith stuff? Possibly. A couple of tough taciturn fellows as... or is it taciturn? I've never gotten that word. I think it's taciturn. And I also don't exactly know what it means. At the door I use suspiciously. Their faces are obscured by hoods. One of your newfound friends nods to them. You are allowed inside. The rooms are stuffy and overcrowded. All the partitions have been removed to make room for more people. There is a raised platform next to one of the walls, perhaps a stage. There are benches all around. They are occupied by people of the common estate, most of them modestly dressed. They are artisans, tinkers, street vendors, students, yet you see that some of them are wealthy and impeccably dressed. A mop-headed young man dressed like a low-ranking clerk appears on the stage. He claps to attract the public's attention. When the house goes quiet, he reads a series of pamphlets condemning the supreme authorities of the Empire and their obsolete rule. A group of young men appear on the stage next, their faces covered in blue paint. They perform a derisive play entitled A Day in the Life of the Tempests. Their performances are many, but their goal is always the same. They all claim the Empire is stuck in the past and has to change. Then finally, after another voice of accusation, a young girl appears on the stage, and the crowd immediately grows silent. So it is that woman, yes. This is her, the mysterious guest they were talking about. Well, actually, it might not be. Never mind, we'll see who it is. You look at her from the crowd, you see short black hair, a slender figure, and those familiar... Oh, no, it's Sophia. Oh, it's Sophia. Alright then. There we go. Yes, it's Sophia. I don't know if I should be here. This seems now dangerous. Is this where my first death comes? Possibly. Brothers and sisters, you all came to this place because deep in your hearts, you know, it's Sophia, the girl who used to live next door. She's grown so much since you last seen her, but what is she doing here? But before Sophia even finishes her first sentence, a short man in a shabby jacket jumps up on the stage. He flashes a badge and screams at the crowd, "Nobody move, you're all under arrest as accomplices to an insurrection against the Empire." Oh no. And I don't have any willpower, so sorry Sophia, but I'm not going to be able to save you this time either, if that comes up. Imperial gendarmes barge into the house, swords and crossbows glint in the dim light. First, there's confusion, then panic. Screams of fear and outrage fill the hall. Sophia's already gone. You can barely hear the cries demanding that you stay where you are. People start pushing against the gendarmes, against the doors, against the windows. The din is deafening. Only one thought remains in your mind. You have to run away as fast as you can. You push your way through the furthest window of the hall. A hand grabs you by the sleeve of your jacket. You pry it off without looking and keep pushing forward. The expensive jacket starts to tear at the shoulder. The window frame breaks and falls outside. You drop down after it. Shards of glass bite into your hands, but you barely feel the pain. You will have time to feel it later. But now you need to run, and I have probably spent even more willpower. You run and dodge and weave through the alleyways before finally heading for the lodging house. Your heart is racing, your hands are shaking, blood is dripping from the cuts on your arms. You have no idea what happened to the people who were arrested. Well, she's scheming went up, that's interesting. Finally, you reach your room and collapse onto the bed. You are safe from pursuit, but not from anxiety. What was Sophia going to say? How did she end up here in the capital after she escaped? Was she arrested too? There are too many questions, but you have no way to answer them. Eventually, you drift off into a restless sleep. Alright then, well, a bit of scheming, that's fine. And you know what? With the start of a new year, I think I am actually going to put a cut in the episode. It's a bit shorter, but I feel like the years can be long in this chapter. This was a fairly short year, the first one, but we're starting in the spring and things are happening, let's just say. Things are happening. We have seen Sophia again, and as I said, I can't check it now because we're in... Well, actually, you know what? Okay, fine. I'll go through this so we can have a bit of a look at things. You're on your way to the largest library in Eterna to study for your entry exams, so Code of Laws. It is right next to the college. The streets are full of people, everybody is excited. You hesitate for a few seconds, then let your curiosity get the better of you and head towards the place where you will soon study. Before long, you hear the shouting. The great chancellor is about to give a speech about the future of the empire. You cannot possibly miss this. You mix with the crowd and soon find a convenient place to listen and watch what is about to unfold. On the steps of the college, you see a small tribune guarded by two Arcanians armed with swords. This is the first time you've ever seen an Arcanian standing guard, let alone two of them. The doors of the college open to reveal a stately Arcanian surrounded by an honor guard. It is he, Cornelius Tempest, great chancellor of the empire, younger brother to the emperor himself. He heads for the tribune and casts a look over the square. It is full of people in awe and utter silence. And says Cornelius, long ago, humans witnessed the Arcanians' arrival. The two nations built the empire side by side. The provinces joined us one by one, and Magra was the final province to attain the absolute might and majesty of the blessed Arcanian Empire. Yet there was another great event long before that. 1,000 years ago, the twins had graced us with their presence. With their arrival, the twins granted us their will. They showed us their love and their law, and they granted us knowledge of what awaits us in the hereafter. They chose the dynasty of Tempest to rule the empire, and from that day forth, our dynasty has ruled this land, ordained by the gods themselves. However, it is our duty to the twins not to seek power for power's sake, but rather to lead the empire to further prosperity. And so, the Great Imperial Council is soon to review and adopt a new set of laws called the Creed. Under the Creed, all estates will be granted rights. Under the Creed, there will be one law for all Imperial citizens to obey, human or Arcanian, from the lowliest commoner to the Emperor himself. Oh, that sounds like a really big deal, yes. The strife among the estates will end. A single law will resolve all of our quarrels. Glory to the Empire. Well, you think that. It might not be that simple. The great chancellor throws his arms into the air. The crowd murmurs in applause and approval. Cornelius Tempest casts another look over the crowd and leaves. The crowd disperses. The sounds of agitated discussions are everywhere. Is it true that the Emperor's dynasty seeks to grant equal rights to all estates? What will happen to the empire then? Okay, well, the power goes up. Well, actually, it doesn't go up. It goes towards the commoners being in power, which is also most likely very relevant to the revolt in the end. But this only shows us Magra, by the way, which is my province, my home province. So there we go. Oh, well, interesting. Girl from your past. Is it Sophia again? We shall see. What I wanted to show you was that, well, Sophia is okay. Yeah, she's merciless towards me. Yeah, this is not gonna go well, is it? What does Thomas think of me? We're fine, but not much more. We have the Elborn guy. I don't know if we're gonna see him again. We have Octavia, who obviously doesn't know that I exist. Jan. Were you the woman by the tree that we really didn't do anything with? Wait. Oh, she's actually here. Alright. Alright, so we met her, but she's also in the capital then. Otton. Don't know much more about him than Ulrich, obviously. Not much more there either. I don't think that there's a whole lot more else to say, but the fact that, yes, we will be chatting with someone. It could be her, actually, now that I think about it. Could be Jean. Jean, I suppose. It's not going to be Octavia. Not going to be Octavia. This is either of those two. We shall see, eh? Oh, bloody hell. This is going to be interesting. Maybe she saw me in the crowd or something. Who knows? We shall see in the next episode. For now, though, this has been ghostmutgaming with me, Christopher. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.